What's good, ladies and gents? Welcome to the MKO Pugilism Boxing channel where we talk all things boxing. Remember to like, subscribe, hit the bell notification, all that good stuff if you're new to the channel. So let's get on with it. So there's been a bit of breaking news, a good announcement for boxing, heavyweight boxing, and that is that we are going to have Johnny Fisher versus Alan the Savage Babic. This will be taking place very soon. I forget the exact date, but from my understanding, this is going to be a main event and it's going to be taking place in the Copper Box. And as many people know, Johnny Fisher is a very good ticket seller. He's a guy that he's got an undefeated resume, undefeated record, hasn't really fought anybody noteworthy as yet. But then again, as far as amateur experience, he's had next to nothing. He hasn't really had many amateur bouts, if any. I'm not sure if he's really had any. So he's really sort of learning on the job as a professional. Alan Babic, he's the savage. He's the fun to watch guy, but he's also a guy that's kind of a car crash waiting to happen. He's coming off of a quite a devastating loss to Rosansky. I think no, what am I talking about? Yeah, he lost to Rosansky, that first round knockout, and then he came back and stopped Steve Robinson. Steve Robinson's calls himself the Disney Drago. He's a guy from up there, I believe, in Newcastle. He's sort of a low-level domestic fighter. Seems to have the frame and the size and everything, but he just doesn't seem to have the talent. So Babic dealt with him in the last fight, but he got caught a lot himself. And the way Babic fights is very crude. It's very he just literally wings away. He just fights in a way that either I'm gonna knock you out or you're gonna knock me out, and that is it. It's really is as simple as that. That's how Babic fights. That's how he deals with his fights in the ring, and I think that's why he's kind of a fan favorite. That's why people love to watch him. That's why I love to watch him, because he's just a guy that is gonna go in there and from round one. He hardly even uses a jab. He just literally goes in there and steams into his opponent. It does lead to him getting hurt sometimes, and he's been very successful doing it at a lower level. But as he's stepped up in levels, that's where he's got hurt. That's where he's got beaten. And I think against Johnny Fisher, I see Johnny Fisher sort of weathering an early storm. I think Johnny Fisher, he might be quite inexperienced as a fighter, but I think Johnny Fisher, he's got the size and he's got the length, and he's developing the skills. And I think Johnny Fisher should have enough to be beating someone like Alan the Savage Babic. I think it will be fun while it lasts. It will be entertaining while it lasts. But I just see Johnny Fisher being the man to just sort of catch Alan Babic at some point, probably in the mid rounds, somewhere around, I don't know, 6, 7. I see him catching him around those mid rounds, hurting Alan Babic, and I see Alan Babic staying down because defensively, Babic just doesn't have it. He just defensively, the defense of Babic is just literally pretty much non-existent. He just walks in, throwing power shots, and if it doesn't work, it doesn't work. If it doesn't work, he gets knocked out. And I think that's probably what's going to happen here. We're going to have a very entertaining first 3, 4 rounds. I mean, it might swing back and forth. He might have a little edge in speed, and that might help him. But I just think he throws shots that are far too wide. And if all Johnny Fisher needs to do is just stick to his boxing, keep things long, keep Babic at the end of his jab, throw straight punches, and I think the straight punches down the middle are going to be the Babic's kryptonite. And I think Babic is one of those guys also that he's not really a massive puncher. He seems to put everything into his shots, but to be honest, looking at his fights, he's not a massive puncher. He's a respectable puncher, but because of he's quite a bit smaller than a lot of these giant heavyweights today, he's not really a massive puncher. I think if he carried more of a punch, then I'd say he'd be more of a threat to Johnny Fisher. But I just think the fact that Johnny Fisher can bang, I think Johnny Fisher of the two is the harder puncher, and I just think that's gonna win him the fight. He's just gonna catch Babic with something, and Babic is still gonna keep coming forward, and then you catch him again, and Babic probably goes out for me. So, yeah, I think Johnny Fisher's probably gonna win this one by KO. I do give Babic a chance because Babic is a determined guy. He is a tough guy and everything. But I think with his fighting style, he's just far too open, far too easy to hit, and he's far too willing to take shots in order to land his own. And I think that style and that whole thing is going to come back to bite him. So let me know what you think about this in the comment section below. Johnny Fisher versus Alan Babic. I mean, I'm looking forward to the fight. I think it will be a good, entertaining, exciting fight. But really, for me, I just think there's only one winner, and that'll be Johnny Fisher. So let me know what you think. Until next time, it's MKO Pugilism, over and out.